would like to invite a guest panelist. The space was a bit short and we wanted to incorporate more opinions. I would like to invite Mr. Jatinder Vijh, who is a Joint General Manager HR with the HMT Limited. So a public sector's perspective into Make in India and how the higher education institutions can be leveraged and integrated into it. I would request Mr. Vijh to throw light. Sir, so you can.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first session itself I had given my very strong views, and listening to the gentlemen out here, I have a couple of points to make. When we talk about research and development, the institutes can play a very major role, and the interaction between the industry and the institute can take up a higher gear. How many patents are actually done by the engineering colleges or the universities? I wonder not much. That is where the real money will come forward. And the institutes themselves will become self-sustaining. If they go into real R&D work, sell that R&D work to the industry would lap it up. Because we in industry, we are so much busy with our daily kind of a thing, and except putting a little bit of R&D efforts, the real efforts are not going in the industry towards R&D thing. The institutes must get into the R&D gear and get certain patents done. Once those patents are done, then there would be an effective interaction between the industry and the institute. Number two, when we talk about the practical exposure of the students to the industry, our experience is, as I have already said in the first session, it is only on the paper. Real effective interaction doesn't take place, real practical exposure is not done. That exposure would be done if the institutes start picking up certain components from the industry and doing it. And for that, they need to build up their physical infrastructure. There was a talk about infrastructure, that 20% of the infrastructure is actually being used, and that 20%, I do not know what kind of infrastructure is there. Most of the institutes do not have the proper laboratories, they do not have the proper machinery, they do not have the proper equipments. Thirdly, the faculty needs to improve. There could be a healthy interaction that way, the faculty comes to the industry, take a bit of training from us, and in exchange, we send our people to the institutes to get trained. It could be a healthy kind of a thing. One of the points that was raised, a beautiful point, that was partnership. It has to be a win-win situation between the industry and the institute. As far as the Make in India program is concerned, the gentleman from the forces has said strategy and tactics. The tactics is to get those foreign investors into India, make in India, but the ultimate aim should be to made in India, not make in India. Ultimate aim should be made in India, and made in India would happen only when there is a healthy interaction between industry and institute, and everybody thinks in a unison with the objective to take India to a higher gear, to make India from a developing country to a developed country. Those were my 2 cents. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.